My distinguished colleagues, I'm Senator George Sekibo. Thank you for the privilege to make a few comments on the budget. Mr. President, I just have two areas to make mention of. The first one is, if you look at the budget from 2015 to 2022 now, the problem we have, for me, is the exchange rate. The budget of 2016 of 6.08 trillion, which was equivalent to $30 billion at exchange rate of 197, and then you go down to maybe 2019 at an exchange rate of 306. Mr. President, if you interpolate this one on this budget with 2016 budget at 197, this budget will have been $83 billion. If you interpolate it with 306 as of 2019 budget, it will have been 53.56 billion. And that will be equivalent to 12 trillion only. 12 trillion only for this year. If it is in 2016, it will have been 7.87 trillion. So I think we have a problem. Our problem is perhaps relate with the central bank to come up with very strong monetary policies so we can maintain our exchange rate at least for a while, maybe 2 years or maybe 3 years. If that is not done, as long as the exchange rate naira is diving down, the quantum of trillions in our budget will be increasing, and then deficit will also be increasing, and borrowing will also be increasing because they are all completely related. That is one. Number two, Mr. President, is the contention of infrastructural provision with deficit and borrowing. If you look at the budget from 2014 to 2022, you will observe a trend: deficit, borrowing, and in often times, the deficit is about equal to the capital budget provision. So it means if we don't borrow, we won't be able to implement capital projects. And so even in this year's budget, you will see that if you don't borrow, virtually all the capital projects cannot be implemented. And if the foreign partners we are expecting to give us money do not give us money, then we cannot implement capital projects. And capital project is the main essence of governance. Mr. President, having said this one, I want to suggest that government can go into public-private partnership with organizations as it is done in other advanced countries and bring infrastructure that can pay off itself in a number of years. Two, we can also, it was done before, oil for infrastructure, that can work. Finally, a question. Mr. President, we are borrowing all this amount of money. Why is River State not considered in the provision of infrastructure with this borrowing?
You may round up, please.
Because at the time of payment, River State, being one of the major oil-producing states, will be part of the paying medium, and then we are not benefiting from these borrowed funds. Thank you, Mr. Senior President.
No, I'm not Speaker, but you are welcome back.